So there's a question that comes up over and over for those of you that want to get started in real estate, and that is, how much money do you actually need? Well, I've got an answer that's going to really help you a lot so that you can get to your first rental property. Just stick around because it's coming up. Hey there, it's Billy with Keep on Cash Flow, and I'm back once again to help share tips and strategies that are going to help you to go out and make more money. They're going to help you to have more control over your free time, and ultimately they're going to help you to live with less stress. So if it's your first time here, why don't you go ahead and do yourself a favor and subscribe to the channel. And as I always do, I'm going to ask you right up front, because I think it's the right thing to do. If you find, or probably better stated, when you find value in these videos, can you go ahead and make sure that you leave your comments? Also make sure that you share it with others, because when you share it with others and give it a like, it's going to help to attract more people, more of the right people to our community. And I just want to thank you right up front for being an active participant in doing that and helping our community to grow and grow even more. So, but I want to kind of share something that happened recently, that happened on one of my Instagram page, basically, because, and I'm not really sure why this happens a lot, but on the different social media channels, when we always talk about going out and me answering your comments or answering your questions, and I know I've done a video on that in the past, there's a reason for that, because you have so many wonderful, fantastic questions that you're asking. And if you ask it in the group, then I can answer and everybody gets to participate. But there are lots of you that like to answer or respond via the direct message here. So I don't want to show too much, because I'm going to actually read one of the comments. And so this specifically was from the Instagram page at keeponcashflow.com. Really great conversation that was happening from someone, I'm not sure which channel they saw, but ended up coming over to Instagram and saw something that was there on Instagram and reached out, and we're having a direct message conversation, what happens with a lot of you, which is great. But without giving the person's name away, the reason that I want to share this is because it's something that came up, because it makes me actually think about a lot of different people. And let me just read a little bit of this to you. So basically, someone who was coming in and they're also working in a corporate job just like me, and looking to start invested in rental properties. And so they told me which markets they wanted to be in, and basically the amount of money that they thought they would use to start. And so when I asked them, I said, well, when you say states like Florida or North Carolina specifically, where were you thinking, right? Because we all know that real estate is very hyper local, right? And so I gave her a couple questions to think about, and then when the questions came back, basically said, hey Billy, I have been really thinking about your last question to me, and I realized that I didn't have the answers, which led me to go back to the drawing board. I decided for the markets I want to get into, I will need more cash up front. So I'm working on some other income streams that aren't as capital intensive. But if you don't mind me asking, about how much did you start with? And so this is kind of the crux of the question. And I guess before I answer the question, I just want to think, because this really made me think about a couple of different things. And I want to give you a couple of people to think about, first of all, a couple of stories. If you've ever seen the movie In Pursuit of Happyness, there's a guy named Chris Gardner. And it's one of these movies that really, really touched my soul, and probably touched millions of people. And if you're here, I'll probably put a picture of it or something like that, or probably already have. But the story of Chris Gardner is a guy who doesn't come from a very wealthy family, actually goes through some really hard times, even to the point where he separates from his wife. They're living in San Francisco. He and his son, because of some parking tickets and issues with the IRS, he and his son actually ended up sleeping in the subway station. He didn't have enough money to do that, so he was jumping around in homeless shelters and things like that. But he was always focused on getting to a better life and focused on why he wanted to be able to do that. And so, although it was a really, really difficult situation and starting point, Chris Gardner actually got to a point where he not only was able to go through an unpaid internship and secure a job, but he went on to become an entrepreneur that started his own brokerage firm and is now a multi-billionaire, right? So yeah, so that was one story. And then when I also think on the other side of things, then there are people that I don't know any of these people, right? But just sharing, Bill Gates. So Bill Gates is somebody who came from a very well-to-do family, from what I understand, didn't really need for much, was able to attend some of the best universities in the world, decided he didn't want to finish, and was able to start his own company. And Microsoft is also a multi-billion, if not now trillion market cap value, but Bill Gates is also a multi-billionaire because he was really focused on solving a problem. He was focused on getting out there, and he followed a clear process to do that. And so you're probably thinking, Billy, why are you telling me these stories? Because it goes back to the question that was asked, and the question that was asked to me is, if you don't mind me asking, about how much did you start with in real estate? Paraphrasing that last part. And the question is, it doesn't matter if I started with zero or if I started with $1 billion, because my context is different than your context. And so just like Chris Gardner, who started from nothing, and Bill Gates, who had many things, they both went on to achieve their goals and their dreams. Why? Because they're really focused on solving a problem. They're focused on making sure that they go out and impact lives. And so as a result, they both, along their path to becoming, have both become multi-billionaires. Now, you may not want to be a multi-billionaire in real estate, but if you want to get to your first real estate property, my thoughts out loud are, think about where you are and why you want to achieve the goals that you want to achieve, and let your plan, your structured plan, take you to getting to your goal, whether it's your first property, it's your 5th property, your 10th property, or your 500th property. What other people do or where their starting points are completely different. And this is one of the reasons that I love Cash Flow 101, right? And I'm going to put a link in that because it's a video that's just getting watched over and over on YouTube. One of the things that I love about Cash Flow 101, and I talk about this in the game, is it doesn't matter what your role is, either you're the janitor or the lawyer. Life is, and in the game, it's about the decisions that you make. The decisions that you make will largely determine how you end up in life. Now, in real life, everybody starts at different starting points, just like Chris Gardner and Bill Gates. But they were both able to make sacrifices. They were both able to stay focused and achieve the goals that they set out for themselves. And it will be absolutely no different for you. So, that's really it. So how much does it take to get started in real estate? Well, I don't really like always saying that it depends, but it can be as different as Chris Gardner or Bill Gates. The choice is really up to you and about the decisions that you're going to make. So in the very same way that I've made decisions to continue to work in a multinational at the same time that I'm building my own business to serve other people, there are sacrifices that I've made. There are things that I'm able to do more of, other things that I do less of, but it's because my context is different than your context. The important thing is to have a clear plan. And one of the things that I've been able to do is create a very clear plan that I'm willing and happy to share with you. All you need to do is go to keeponcashflow.com/roadmap. You can pick up exactly the step-by-step plan that I've done working in a big company and actually going to get my first through multiple rental properties, and either being a limited partner or a general partner, and all things in between. So take a couple minutes, pick that ebook up for yourself. It's a free gift from me to you. If you decide you wanted to go do some more in-depth training, there's an opportunity for you to do that there. I just want you to at least get started, get out of your own way, and get started in real estate. So let me know what you thought about this video. Leave your comments and here in the link or somewhere below. And looking forward to staying in touch with you. This is Billy Keels with Keep on Cash Flow. That's my 2 cents for today. And as always, hasta la próxima.